Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is discuss a variety of coaching and psychological and emotional topics, and we do that as often as we can. We've got over 400 audios available for you to check out on a variety of topics, hopefully something that you find helpful and useful. Please subscribe, like, comment below. If you're dealing with the ending of a friendship or imbalance in friendship, the next few audios will be helpful to you. But if you're dealing with that and you want to deal with it and kind of process the emotions of it, the best way to do that is to reach out. There's a couple ways to do that. You can go to the About Me section here on YouTube, and my website is there, or you can contact via PO Perception on Twitter and send a direct message there, and that can be helpful. Today we're going to talk about fake friends. Fake friendships are a huge thing these days. Unfortunately, with the rise of social media, has become kind of the rise for the desire for power, the desire for connectedness through power, and kind of that idea that more is better. And so the competitive nature of I've got 500 friends online and you've only got 200 begins to become problematic, especially when people are like, hey, I need A, B, C, D, and, let me leverage a person or a relationship to get what I need. But how do you know if you have a fake friend? We're going to run through about 6 common ways to know that a person might be fake in your general direction. The first is they don't keep plans with you. So a person who's intentional about the value of a relationship and the value of your time isn't going to be willing to kind of compromise the relationship by changing plans on a consistent basis. Obviously, we run faster than ever before in human history in terms of just the amount of responsibilities we have, but a person who values their friendships is going to place value on not changing plans unless absolutely necessary. So if you notice that someone makes plans with you and then doesn't keep them, or calls at the last minute, literally maybe an hour or less before, or has a habit of continuing to calling you or texting you and canceling plans, the day of, that sort of thing, that's a sign that they really don't care about the sacrifices you've made to make those plans work in your own life, and so therefore they become fake because their interest in you is how they can benefit. But if they find something better to do, they're off on their own merry way. The next is they don't make the time to reach out to you, to communicate with you, to connect with you at any level. So, look, we're all busy, but we all have the same 24 hours in every human day. And so if a person really cares about or has an issue with wanting to strengthen a relationship, they're going to make the time to do it. And that could be something as simple as a 37-second text message exchange once a day or once every other day. It could be as simple as calling and leaving a message on your voicemail. There's a deliberation and a direct nature to trying to keep the relationship growing and strengthened. Now, when a person doesn't make any time, or they don't return your phone calls, or they don't, return an email, or keep their plans with you, it's a sign that they don't value the relationship as much as you do. Unfortunately, what happens in a lot of these cases where ghosting becomes a thing is most people, the majority of people, are individuals who don't like conflict, and they don't really want to say, look, I've outgrown this friendship, or look, I'm going in another direction. And so what happens is they just disappear rather than have the conflict. If a person is consistently not making attempts to contact you and not following through on contact, it might be worth investigating the possibility that they have outgrown the friendship and they're not really as invested as you'd like them to be in keeping things going. Although that's painful, it's a much better use of time than trying to chase somebody down on a consistent basis. The next thing there is they don't listen. They're not actively engaged in being invested emotionally in your life or your experiences or the things you do or the things you're going to do or your hobbies or the people that matter to you, the situations and causes that matter to you. They're not active listeners at all. They are individuals who, in fact, are only interested in having you listen to them. There's the old adage that you have two ears and one mouth because listening is more valuable than speaking. But these individuals, on a consistent basis, would rather hear themselves speak just because they think that their issues or their challenges in life or their ideas and concepts are more important than yours, and therefore they listen to you less than would even be equitable or fair or even. So that is a big one. The next is the use of sarcasm on a consistent basis. Now, we all have that friend who's super funny and sarcastic. We all have that friend who might cut us just because it's kind of banter. But when the majority of communication is a backward compliment or a sarcastic comment or almost biting to the point where it's like, ow, did you really mean that? And you have to kind of ask yourself throughout the conversation what their intentions are with communication. That's another sign it's a fake friend. A lot of times, what happens is when a person gets annoyed with another person and they've decided I don't really like this person as much as I once did or as much as I thought I would, then they start to be sarcastic to push the person away and hope the person gets a hint and just goes away naturally. Again, it's a deflection technique in order to avoid the conflict of actually saying, you know what, I'm not invested in this friendship. And so, because most people don't want to admit that and have that conversation, the use of sarcasm and dark humor, dark wit, can be a way of pushing someone to a point of kind of separating the relationship. The next is power relationships. So, notice how a person treats those who can't do anything for them: the bus driver, the waiter, waitress, the store clerk, whatever. If a person is a good person and values friendship and relationships in general, they're going to be just as generous to a stranger they're never going to see again as they are to a friend. But if a person is a power motivated when it comes to relationships, they are going to only be interested in someone who can level them up socially, someone who can level them up emotionally, someone who can help them in the future financially, someone who can make them more visible with a goal that they may have. They're interested in power relationships. The final thing, which is probably one of the most damaging, is the gossip train. So, a person who is not a good friend in general or doesn't value friendships as much as you may like is more likely to be prone to gossiping about others. And if they're willing to gossip about others to you, they're willing to gossip about you. So, if a person spends, let's say, even more than 30% of their time talking about others and things going on with others in a negative way, it's a sign that they have the propensity to become and to continue to be a fake friend. So hopefully this is helpful to you. I encourage you to keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Till next time, everybody.